Hey everyone. So for the past week, I've been staying here at Excalibur in Las Vegas. So I've walked around this place before, but I've never actually stayed at it. And I was on kind of an impromptu road trip with my roommate and decided on the way back I could stop in Vegas for a little bit. I had a little bit of money left over, enough to stay at a cheap resort. And Excalibur kind of fit that. It was fairly cheap and it's on the strip, something that I like. So let me take you inside and let you know what I think about the place. So this part right here is me walking through the rear entrance near the parking garage. I will flip this around when I'm done with it and show you the front entrance. This is the front of the casino facing the strip. Now, if you go to the left, it will take you to the tram, and I'll show that later, but going to the right will take you into the resort. This is a map of Excalibur. We're going to start on the map in the bottom left that says casino level, and down in the bottom right of that map, you'll see a little star by the front entrance. Following the right wall, the first thing you're going to see is Dick's Last Resort. Now, this place is pretty interesting because the whole theme of this is they literally come out and just insult you. The next thing is a Baja Fresh. I actually stopped here often before I went for my workouts because it was pretty affordable. You'll then reach the resort tower, and on the right, you'll have an essential store, and on the left is a roasted bean coffee shop. And then if you keep going out, you have the pool, and then you have the area for pets. It's just a little tiny area, nothing big, but it works for letting your pets out, and it's nice. It's right there at the exit for the elevators, so you just hop in the elevator, take your pet out, and then you can head back inside. There's also this pretty empty parking area. I'm honestly not sure what it was for. I know it did say something about higher tier members here, but I never really saw anybody using this. So if you swing a left instead of going outside, that takes you to the pool and the fitness area. The fitness center was a decent size, probably one of the biggest ones I've actually seen in Vegas so far. Definitely good enough to get a workout in. Right next to the coffee shop and essentials, you have a left and a right, which takes you upstairs to the resort tower. All right, so stepping into the room, I'm going to go first to the back, or actually I'll show you the door. We got a deadbolt and another latch for security. You got your light for, I believe it's right here. Yep. Bathroom. First thing this actually really surprised me here. This is a nice big bathroom, nice big counter, nice shower. Like this is a big walk-in shower, had good pressure on it. I was really impressed with that. Though what got me is this is supposed to be a renovated room, but you have stuff like this on the floor. And I don't even want to talk about, like, you look down in the toilet there. Yeah, it's pretty nasty. Moving on. You do have a hair dryer. I don't care about it, but I do like the fact that when you turn off the lights, that lights up at night, so you're not blinding yourself when you're using the bathroom. Moving over to the main room, you got your closet for hanging clothes. Both sides, no light in it, unfortunately. You do have the, what's it called? The iron and the place to iron stuff on. I don't remember the names because I never used these. Pretty decent sized mirror here. Walking into the rest of the room, I'm going to address this first thing. This has been driving me crazy ever since I got here. So I close this. Let's give it a second. And here it comes. So yeah, that drawer will constantly keep coming out. And it's because, I don't know if you can tell, it's probably hard to see, but this is slightly crooked, so it just kind of slides out. Anyway, they do have a fridge, which is very nice. Most hotels here in Vegas that I've seen do not have a fridge. You got a pretty nice sized TV. I think it's somewhere between a 55 and a 65 4K HDR TV. I was able to hook my laptop up to it without too much problems. You got those, a couple drawers there, ice bucket, decent sized desk with a lamp, painting on the wall. And let's go to the beds here. You got 2 queen size beds. They were decently comfy. My dog has been taking up this other one the whole time we've been here. On your headboard area, or whatever you call this, right next to your bed, you got 1 power outlet, no USB, light, 2 drawers. So the beds are pretty comfy. They were kind of on the softer side, so I was able to roll over on my shoulder without hurting it. Air conditioner has done a great job, though it has been noisy. Like to the point where I heard people complain about this before, but I was like, whatever, who cares? But yeah, it's pretty noisy, but it does do its job and it keeps you cool. So last thing is the view. So when I got here, I was stuck on the 6th floor and I was literally looking at a wall outside. I'll show you a quick video of it. So I actually went to the front desk and talked to them to see if I could get to a better room with maybe a view. Unfortunately, they said all the rooms that were labeled view rooms were the ones that were looking out towards New York, or the Strip. And I wasn't able to get one of those, but they were able to get me one of these rooms, which isn't horrible. It's not the best view, but you got a view of Luxor, and it is pretty cool at night with the light on the top and the lights going up the side of it. So not a horrible view. So overall, that's pretty much everything on the room. I'll tell you what I think at the end of the video of my final opinions on this room, but let me show you the rest of the hotel. So now I'm in the middle of the casino, and I'm going upstairs to the food court and shops area. So the upstairs had a decent amount of shops and an alright food court, though I did find it for a food court it was kind of expensive. I did end up going to Popeyes a couple times because it was probably by far the cheapest place, and it was still way more expensive than a normal Popeyes somewhere else. A normal meal that was like $12 here in Portland cost around, I think it was 17 or 18 bucks at this food court. The buffet I thought was pretty decent for the price, especially in Vegas. My only real complaint about it is the hours, 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. I mean, honestly, I'm not looking for a huge meal at 2 in the afternoon. I'm probably going to go at dinner. It would be nice if they opened this up a little bit later in the evening. There are a few more shops after the food court area. Nothing too exciting to me. But the one place I really do like is called the Dragon's Lair. They have a lot of cool statues and just weird fantasy stuff in there. So back down at the front entrance, we're going to go to the left this time. The first thing you're going to see is the baggage area. Then you get to the lobby and the check-in area. I wasn't a big fan of this because there's basically one line for non-priority guests. If you're a higher tier, there's a whole separate line which goes much faster. Otherwise, you're just going to have to use the kiosks, which honestly are faster, but if you need something specifically from a person, you got to go through this line. If you continue going to the left, it basically just takes you to the Royal Tower, and plus you have a Johnny Rockets right there. I've never been to the place. It always just seemed kind of expensive for a burger joint. Alright, so back to the entrance. This time I'm going to head straight down the middle towards the car park area. After you pass the middle, you'll come to the Tap Sports Bar. And if you continue walking, you will get to the sportsbook area. It's not huge, but it's pretty decent compared to some of the other ones I've seen around Vegas. And continuing straight, you'll run into a Starbucks and then the Rotunda area for your Uber or Lyft. To the right is the self-parking area. This is where I started the video at and where I walked in from. So this is back at the entrance again. You basically walk around and you'll see a set of stairs that go down to the arcade area, or I believe they call it the Fun Dungeon. You have all kinds of arcade machines down here, and this is also where the entrance to the Tournament of Kings is. Immediately to the right when you walk down the stairs, or the left if you go to the other one, is a Dairy Queen. This is actually a really good placement. I thought I stopped here at least once or twice to get some ice cream when I was there. I was honestly pretty impressed how big this place was. There were a lot of games down here. Downstairs is the entrance to the Tournament of the Kings dinner show. I had a good time with this. They bring you out food, and they put on a decent show. It's a little expensive, but it's worth seeing once. Coming off the strip at the front of the entrance of Excalibur, if you hang left instead of going right into the resort, this will take you to the tram. Tram goes to Luxor and to Mandalay Bay. Now, something that confused me and a lot of other people I saw take this tram is you have two options. You have an express to Mandalay Bay, and then you have one that says Mandalay Bay and Luxor. The thing is, though, you get into the tram and it goes past Luxor to Mandalay Bay and then comes back and then stops at Luxor. This tram is 100% free, though, and is nice during hot weather. Good morning, everyone. It's Friday, October 17th. And I'm just packing up all my stuff after staying at Excalibur for a week. And I just wanted to kind of give my final thoughts on the place. First off, it is kind of referred to as the Dirty Castle, and I can't say that name is totally undeserved. It is a bit old and run down, but I think that's part of the charm. Some of it, though, is kind of deserved. Like, my room is supposedly a newly renovated room, but you have things like the dresser drawer was just constantly opening up on me because the dresser was uneven. You had a power outlet that was halfway popped out, and even if you popped it back in, it would pop back out again. You had tile, it looks like they just painted, and that was coming up, or they just missed it completely. You had like the front plastic, whatever it's called, peeling off the front of the sink in the kitchen, or not kitchen, but the bathroom. It wasn't a bad room, but you could definitely tell this is a budget hotel and they didn't put a lot of money into the renovation. That being said, though, I did actually enjoy the room for the most part. The bed was pretty comfortable with a somewhat soft bed, so I could kind of roll over on my shoulder and not hurt myself at night because I am a side sleeper. There was a nice big bathroom, which I liked, with a walk-in shower, nice water pressure for showering. I did enjoy the TV. It was a 55 or 65 inch, I'm not sure, but the way they mounted it on the wall so you could just kind of move it off the wall and tilt it which direction you wanted was really a nice touch, and I did appreciate that. What I liked a lot, though, was the layout of the hotel. It was very simple compared to other casinos I've been to. You literally walk in and you have one of three directions to go. To the left, you got the Royal Tower. To the right, you have the Resort Tower. And the front goes out the back door. And everything's kind of designed around that. And in the middle, you have the stairs that go upstairs to your food court, shopping, and all that. And then right by the front door, you have the stairs that go downstairs down to the fun dungeon, I think they called it, with the arcade and the Tournament of Kings. Most hotels here in Vegas, I can stay a whole week and I still struggle to figure out my way around the place. This place, I had it down within 24 hours. It was very simple and I did like the layout. The check-in process was pretty painless. I always use the MGM app. The problem is if you want to basically talk to somebody about something like I did when I was trying to get a better room with a better view, you're going to be in line for a long time. A lot of these places I've noticed, they do prioritize people with higher reward or higher tiers. Like me, I'm just Sapphire with MGM. I don't come to Vegas enough to get anything above that. So I'm stuck in line waiting a long time. If you care about your view here, definitely look for a room with a view specifically. Otherwise, you're going to get stuck like I did the first night and get stuck with something that's likely going to be looking at a wall, especially if you're on a lower floor. Now I'm in a room, like I've shown, it's not a view room, but it's okay. And I got lucky with this one because I went down and begged them, or not begged, but I bothered them enough times where someone was nice enough to give me a better room that had a better view of, the Luxor and Mandalay Bay, which looked pretty nice at night when they were lit up. I enjoyed the fitness center here. I thought it was a lot better than some other places I've been to, especially New York, which I'm going to always bring that up because how bad that place was. The pool was decent, though it did kind of annoy me. The 18 plus pool was you had to be a higher tier reward level once again to get in there. So otherwise, you're dealing with kids, which yesterday was bad. I'm sitting there in the hot tub, and you got kids jump like cannonballing into the hot tub, and the guards or lifeguards wouldn't do anything about it. It was pretty annoying. Otherwise, though, it was a nice pool. I liked the waterfall. There was, like I said, 4 pools, I believe I showed. One of them was closed. One of them's closed off unless you're a higher tier. But the pool was, I would say, decent. I'm not a gambler, but this had an okay sized casino, I would say. Bigger than, once again, New York, I thought. So if you're into gambling, it does work. One of my biggest problems though with this place was the parking situation. So every casino I've been to here in Vegas, when you park at their parking garage, they usually have some sort of walkway to get to the hotel, like a bridge or something. This place didn't. So you park. I've shown this in the video, and then you got to go down to the ground floor and then walk across next to the pool and into the casino, and then through the casino to your tower. It's kind of a pain, honestly. Every other place I've been to, like I said, they usually have like a quick access right by the parking garage. They do actually have a parking area by the resort tower where I am. The problem is it's once again blocked off for people with higher tier rewards, and I think Ubers also. So it's kind of annoying. I wish they would give you like, 15-minute parking so you could go in there and just drop your stuff off real quick. I do have to say the rooms, I don't know if they were just like the walls were, well insulated, or if I just had quiet people around me, but I didn't hear anybody the whole time I was here. My neighbors were completely quiet. So I don't know, like once again, if that's just the hotel or I just got lucky with my neighbors. Another thing I did appreciate was having a mini fridge. I don't know if I've been to enough hotels yet to say if it's normal, at least here on the strip. Most hotels I've been to did not have a mini fridge. This having one was definitely a positive. The only other thing I really had to say was I did go see the Tournament of Kings last night, and I did enjoy that quite a bit. It was a little bit expensive, I think, for what it was, but it was a lot of fun. And if you're ever here, I would say it's definitely worth staying. If you're an MGM Rewards member, they give you I think it's like $10 off, or whatever, so you save a little bit of money. The only other thing I can really think of was the internet here, which was eh. It gave you about 10 up and 10 down, but it was pretty sluggish. I don't know if it just can't handle the amount of people here, or if it's just that's the limit of what you get. But either way, it wasn't that great. I mean, it worked, but it could be better. As far as pricing goes, this was the cheapest hotel cheapest MGM hotel I could find on the strip at the time. I'll put the price up on the screen here. I don't remember exactly what I paid, but it was the cheapest. My biggest complaint though was the pet fee. I did have my dog with me, and they were charging $50 a night for a pet. I mean, that's like more than what I'm paying for myself, which is absurd. So they really got me on that. That's $250. Plus, of course, the $20 a night for parking. So that adds up really quick, and that can make a cheap trip turn out to be really expensive. So my takeaway from this place is I actually really enjoyed it. Sure, it's a little beat up and old, and I don't know if it deserves the moniker of Dirty Castle, but I did like the place, and I would say I would stay here again, and I probably will again in the future, but it may be a while. There's so many other places on the strip I'd like to visit first. So that's kind of my thoughts here on Excalibur. Thanks for watching this video, and I will see you guys next one.